Good afternoon, guys. This week it looks like we had the Dow was down 1.7%, the S&P 500 was down 2.5%, Nasdaq was down 4.1%. What a crazy week this week. We've seen a lot of whipsaw action in the markets. The question we have right now looking on the screen here is, did we break that trend line? Where did we close? How much more downside do we have? Is this a rally that we saw this morning? Is this going to continue into next week? We're going to get into that. Okay, first thing I want to look at, let's take a look at the calendar for this next week. We do have household debt coming out. This would be on around noon on Monday. I do believe, it's not on this calendar on your screen, but I do believe Powell is going to be speaking or maybe testifying in Congress on Monday and Tuesday, I believe. I have to actually go look at the calendar. But we also have Mnuchin coming out this next week. So it will be an important week coming up here. May impact the market. And then something I want to address really quick, excuse me here. Something I want to address is I keep seeing news like this where we're talking about lawmakers are very close. This stopgap funding deal is talking about the government shutdown coming up here. And I have to say, I haven't even read this article. I just wanted to point to the headline here. I have to say, if you are in the market, you're trading the market, and you're hoping or possibly hoping that this news is going to impact the market, I have to say I haven't really seen government shutdowns affect the market in the last several years. I have not seen this. Anytime a government shutdown happens, business continues as usual. I don't really see an impact in the market. So I would not be holding my breath one way or another for this news to actually have an impact. So let's go straight over to the charts here and see what's going on. Let me zoom in for you guys here. The question that we kind of had today is this closing, we'll get down to the intraday timeframes. I had this trend line coming across the screen right here. And the question I have was this trend line clearly broken to the downside? Yes, it was clearly broken to the downside. But if you're a bull, keep in mind, well, first of all, the trend line can be in the wrong place. We could draw in 75 trend lines, coming out all different directions here. So something to keep in mind, though, is even though we broke down, and this is for the bulls primarily, we can still rally back up here to back test the trend line, or even get back above there. We've seen this before where the market will just rally up here. Let's come into Sunday futures, Monday futures, and then market opens Monday morning. We might see prices shoot back above this trend line. If that happens, if they do get back above the trend line, that is extremely bullish. However, I have to urge a little bit of caution to the bulls. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to just start giving out prices here, but anywhere from, let me do this. Anywhere from 318, anywhere from 318.90 all the way to 322. I'm still eyeing, because we broke the trend line today, that is still a price area. I'm not saying we're going to get down there anytime soon, but I'm saying if we do get down there, that would be a nice buying opportunity. It is possible that we turn around anytime before that, but we did just break a very key level, in my opinion. Anything is possible. We'll see what the bulls do with this come Monday and into the coming sessions here. I'm going to go to an intraday time frame. I'm going to use a 15-minute chart. Normally I use the hour, but I just want to kind of give a rough idea of what has been going on. And so what happened was we did break down here. We've been trading kind of sideways. Let me use a different color so you guys can actually see what's going on here. We broke down. We've been trading sideways. And the question now becomes, is this a bear flag that's going to play out, or that is currently playing out? That's one scenario. And like I said before, here's the March lows trend line coming up the screen right here. So it is possible to come back up here and back test. We don't necessarily know what's going to happen just yet. I wanted to see a little bit more action from the bulls. This rally, the second half of the day, could have just been short covering, shorts down to here. And then you saw this, we did see this bull flag play out, shorts here, and then we broke down again. So it could have been, maybe that played out, maybe that is the low. In fact, I could do this for the bulls. We could draw a line going across like this and say, well, there's a trend right there. They're going to bounce here. That is absolutely possible. It really depends on how they close the day on Monday and Tuesday. That will really give us the clue. if we begin to see higher prices here again, I want to see prices back above this area. A lot of damage has been done to the market, and we were kind of wondering this, like, as far as the quote unquote bubble popping, I believe that this definitely is air coming out of the bubble. We saw this massive run up, and then of course we've been selling off. So yes, I at this point, it would not surprise me to see the market continue to rally from here, and I don't want to say make all-time highs, but let's go through one day at a time. Let's go through one resistant level at a time. So we definitely have resistance coming in here around 334. We also have some right down here at 332. If we can get above these, for sure have resistance around 342.50. Let's do one thing at a time. Let's see if the bulls can take this back. If they can't, we'll know pretty quick if we take out today's low. So let's go over to QQQ. So in the Qs, we had similar kind of action here. There was a lot more air to come out of the Qs than there was any other market because of how much the Qs were overextended here. But again, anything is possible. And I left this chart for members of the Discord. And by the way, guys, before I forget, let me put the little commercial up here. Feel free to subscribe if you guys are not subscribed, if you're new to the channel. Feel free to subscribe, hit the like button if you've gained value out of this video. And that will, of course, trick the or convince the YouTube algorithms to share the video to other people. And then lastly, if you guys have any questions or concerns or comments, put them under the video. And be sure and check out our website, RTB Trading, rtbtrading.com. So I left this chart for the members. Let me turn the commercial off here. Okay, so I left this chart for the members as far as, you know, did this break down? In my opinion, it did break down. Are we going back to back test this 266.90? I left a chart in the Discord saying we need to close above 266.90 for it to be anything other than a dead cat bounce. From where I say it is a dead cat bounce, and then again, if we can get over 266.90, let's say Monday, and we can begin closing above this price zone on Monday, I would believe that it's more than just a dead cat bounce. But from where I sit, it was just a simple matter of we broke through support and now we came back up to back test. And of course, they leave us all hanging out here to dry, closing almost right on that price level. They do that on purpose. So I'm at this point, again, my 266.90 could be the wrong price level. That's just what I had for support. Maybe it's a little bit higher. Maybe it's at 267.60. You know, we'll see. We'll know a lot more come Monday. We'll have a really good idea. What I'd like to see at this point is higher highs and higher lows. And then of course we have these moving averages. This is on an hourly chart. So these moving averages, yes, maybe some of them will mean something, but I don't think there'll be as much resistance as the actual price levels go. Like right here in the Qs, we have serious resistance around 271.91. There's a gap here also. If they can get into the gap, they're going to want to fill it, bringing up the next resistant level probably up here around 275.60. So Qs are definitely on watch today. We tried, let's go over to Apple, since I know a lot of people took Apple today. I took Apple today, and we took a stop loss in Apple. And so here's kind of what I was looking at. I'm on the 1 hour chart. Oh, let's do that. Hopefully you can kind of see everything on the screen here. And so I think our stop loss, or what I was looking at for Apple, let me zoom into this price action right here. We had a price level, I believe it was, let's do this. Pull this up to here. Okay, so what we were looking at was this price level right here. I think it went like this. This was the price level. This was the chart that I was trading at the time. And so I did see this downward action here. And maybe this is a channel. I'm not really paying attention to the channel. What I was looking at was yesterday's low as the bull. As far as a bull case goes, I was looking at yesterday's low as the low in question. And so today we were coming in here. We're pretty close to risk. Looking across the markets, I had a lot of hope from the futures chart, and I had a lot of hope from the IWM. The IWM was up 1% today in the morning. So I had a lot of hope. Apple was really, there really wasn't a lot of stocks that were down. I mean, Apple was down, Facebook was down, we saw tech stocks down, but really across the market, things looked hopeful as far as the other indicators or market leaders were concerned. It looked like it could have been a bullish day, and they were possibly going to run this thing, but of course they didn't. We traded right below through yesterday's low, triggering the stop loss. And so for me, I took the stop loss and I'm not re-entering Apple. I mean, maybe next week we'll see what happens. Extremely, maybe not as an extremely bearish close as we've seen before, like this day back here on Thursday, or or Wednesday going into Thursday. But I have to say we closed dang near on the low of the day. So let me go to the daily chart, and I just have to urge caution to the bulls. This was an extremely bearish day, extremely bearish close, and we're flirting with this gap over here. I expected them to fill the gap and then rally away. Let me zoom in here so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. I expected them to fill this gap back here, and this is the gap I was talking about here. Expect them to fill that in and then rally away. Well, they didn't rally away, so now we're looking at the next support levels, possibly down here, and I'll give you a price level. The next support level is around 101.16, and right above that, if they, let's say Monday we come into this price area of around 102.94, call it 103, there might be some good support there, and that would be a nice area to take a long trade. And if we look at the markets on Monday, maybe that would be a good area to lean in long. Keeping in mind, we do want to look around the marketplace to see if other stocks are up or other ETFs like the SPY and the Qs, the IWM. Let's look around the market on coming Monday and then decide. Now, it's possible we rally right from where we're at. That's absolutely possible. Or another scenario is maybe the futures will trade down this low, and I don't mean Apple's futures. I mean maybe the ES or the NQ will trade down this low. Looking at those charts, it'll put in a low and then begin to rally up here. And if it does, I would consider that if the futures can put in a low, I could possibly look at it and say, well, that maybe that would have been Apple's low, and then we'll see a rally from here. Other than that, it looks like we have more downside, in my opinion. And the reason why this would be a good trade if you did take it around this area of 102, all the way down here to 101.30, is because if we get down into this gap, they're most likely going to want to fall all the way down and fill the gap, which would be around, we could call it $95. I'll give you an exact price. The gap fill is $96.19. So around that price area would be also support. And then even down here, $92. Of course, that's really far away from now, so I don't want to start giving price targets for down there. And to be honest, they're not price targets. What it is if Apple is trading that low in the next couple days, those would be good areas to lean in. Okay, let me get off of Apple before we put everyone to sleep. Let's go to the IWM. IWM, so this is the thing, is I was looking at IWM this morning, and it's funny because IWM has been lagging the rest of the markets. Like, it's been lagging the Qs, been lagging the S&P 500. What I noticed today was this trend line coming across the screen right now. We've redrawn it. Let me do this. Because we had the March low trend line, and the problem with the March low trend line is it was like something up here. We've already gone through the March low trend line. So of course now we're trying to figure out what's going on in this chart. I do see a little bit of a trend line down in here. We could say it's, up, maybe up here, but probably down in this area right here. Again, they rallied this thing at the second part of the day. So we do have a reversal up here, and that reversal is at resistance of 156.44, and then market went down a little bit. It's come back up. The question now becomes, can the market retake this level right here, or is it going to start to fall? And I'll give you a price area right now, and I'll tell you right now, if it gets down this low, which is 150.37, which is the low of this candle right here, 150.37, if we start trading back down there, or even at today's lows, if we start getting down there, I would not expect this price level to hold, and that would also mean this trend line would be broken. So those are all some things to watch. I would definitely be a buyer of IWM down in this area right here, and I'll give you an actual price area. It's between 142. You could also try it up here at 145. One thing to consider though is we really have to take this one day at a time. Trading is dynamic, and this is why throughout the day you'll see different traders that they're long, they're short, like nobody knows what's going on. It's because trading is dynamic, it's ever changing. So you'll look at a chart, or you'll look across the market, and it might be telling you one thing, but you have to trade the chart that's in front of you. That's really the only way to go about this. We have to look at what's in front of us at the time and make the best judgment as technicians in real time. I think that pretty much wraps it up. I wanted to keep this short. Actually, let's do this. Let's do one more, since I know 300 of you guys have Tesla $600 Tesla calls expiring on Tuesday. let's do this. Let's take a look at Tesla and see what's going on. You know, we did a post about this probably a week ago. I'm not. I don't know. Let's do this. I don't even want to begin to put trend lines on the screen, but I just want to see if we can relate to anything that's on the screen. We can't really. It's already getting up here. We're coming into battery day, so I'm not a buyer and I'm not a seller. I'm staying away from Tesla this time. I want to see what happens after battery day, and even then I trade a lot of options, so Tesla options are very expensive. If I was to trade options on Tesla, I would be looking at a straddle or a strangle. But however, we are coming into battery day. One thing to consider is implied volatility right now is if you follow my cursor down here, implied volatility is around 1.23. So we're getting pretty high as far as implied volatility, and is why it's a good idea to sell premium and not necessarily be buying it. And of course, that's all my opinion. Price areas, I couldn't begin to give price targets, but let's get down to the 15-minute chart and see what's really going on. It looks like we're trying to get up here. We're working our way up. It's definitely bullish on the 15-minute time frame. Let's look at the 1 hour. Definitely bullish on the 1 hour. Keeping in mind, as far as an uptrend for, you know, all the entire year really, but keep in mind on this hourly chart, it may look good right now. Like right now, it looks like we're consolidating in this price area right here. The thing is it could go either way. If there is good news, it could break out. If there is bad news, it could break down. And this is why the reason why I'm not into Tesla right now is it's too volatile for even me right now. I would rather just like chill, sit back, see what happens. Now, if you're in the trade, if you are long in the trade right now, there's no reason to get out of the trade. If you are, oh, we see this little triangle pattern coming up here. If you're short in the trade, I would be very, very cautious. There's nothing really on the chart that says to me a good short entry. So be careful if you are in a short. But if you're in a long, there's no reason to get out of it. It's above all the hourly moving averages. We're working our way up here. It looks like we'll probably break out, but it's anyone's guess really what's going to happen. If you are in this, a good price target is around 475.02, and then of course the all-time highs. Keep in mind, if we do break above this I'll give you an actual price, 479.04, call it 479. If we get above 479, even on an hourly basis, I would expect us to go test the all-time highs of $502.49. So keep those things in mind. Also, if it does begin to sell off for any reason, just try to realize how much Tesla is up this year and really ask yourself, what is the company really worth? What is the valuation right now? What is the company really worth? And it could be worth $3,000 a share. I'm not here to say one way or another. Just keep in mind, there are a lot of people that own it. So if everybody tries to leave for any reason at the same time, it could get ugly. But anyway, then again, I'll finish with this. There is nothing on the chart that says sell Tesla. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, guys, have a safe weekend. Have a good week coming into this next week, and we will see you in the next video.